5 years ago, the UN Secretary General launched the Youth 2030 strategy to get more young people involved in this body's work. How has that initiative progressed over the years?
Well, the 2018 initiative for youth of the United Nations, the youth strategy, has been a totally success in the United Nations. I believe without this, the youth would have never get a position where they could be real change makers. Countries have realized how important the youth is. And in most of them, and if you go mainly to the region of Latin America, if you go to most of the parts of Asia, including China, of course, you see that most of the population are under 35, which is the youth, the term of youth under the United Nations standards. So it definitely has helped. I believe the youth is in its best moment right now in the international field, in politics as well. We have seen it clearly on recent elections all over the world that most of the ministers, presidents are young people. So we are happy. We're in a good moment.
What inspired you to even enter this area?
Well, in my own perspective, in my own life, I've been always a very curious person. And I had the opportunity to join the United Nations first as an intern. So for me, it was a great opportunity to get to know how the UN works, what's their daily activities, and how could the young people help on this. And, I saw that there was a kind of a big opportunity for the youth. I saw I could support on my side with my knowledge and with my experience to bring what the youth of the world think about several issues, several things, to the decision-making tables. The Secretary General launched a report called Our Common Agenda. In this Our Common Agenda report, he included two amazing, groundbreaking ideas for the youth. He suggested the creation of the UN Youth Office, which is happening right now, is existing right now. And then he suggested as well the creation of the Special Envoy or the Envoy on Future Generations. So when I saw this, I really said, this is something serious. This is happening. The UN is believing in the young generation. So we're in the perfect moment. I think this is the moment of change.
Later this year, the UN will host a huge event, the Summit of the Future, providing key opportunities for the world to accelerate the Sustainable Development Goals, but also calling for governments to make youth participation the norm, also give opportunities to young people, opportunities they deserve. What do you make of the importance of the Summit of the Future? What do you hope will be accomplished there?
The Summit of the Future is an amazing opportunity for all of us. When we heard the beginning about this summit, we thought it is the summit we deserve because of the new changes that we're experiencing along the way. And we're already working on an agenda called the New Youth Agenda. We're mainly focused on mental health. We believe it's an important thing that should be definitely taken into account. Then we will have the climate action that's concerning for all of us. Then education, which is the basic of everything, of all society. We have digitalization, which for somebody could be seen as a solution, but for some other countries is a problem. So we definitely need to look at it very carefully. And the last one would be bridging the social gaps.
When you look at everything that is happening around the world right now, and those initiatives and those goals are great, but when you talk to your fellow members of your generation, your friends, when you're outside of the UN, what would you say are their biggest concerns right now?
I have a lot of opportunities to speak with the youth. I always feel that there is a feeling that their voices are not being heard. And this is concerning because we're really making all our best, big efforts. And when somebody tells, the UN doesn't do anything, it's unnecessary, I say, the UN does a lot of things and a lot of tangible things, but of course it takes its time. There are 193 plus 2 observer states trying to agree on several topics. When I get to speak with some other youngsters that they say here in America, they always express their concern about, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get in the position I love, in the work I like, in the job I deserve. And this is something that, gets me into a lot of thinking about what's going on and what's going to happen to the future generations. I believe there's going to be a change. I think we're progressively watching what's going on in the world. Some politicians, for instance, I can mention Ecuador. The Ecuador president is just 36 years old. That's amazing. Or the Prime Minister of France, he's 30 years old. Can you imagine? You have Chile, he's 37, right? President Boric from Chile. And this is something fantastic. I think the society is starting to trust in the youth. We have bright ideas, we have innovative solutions, because we are not coming here just to propose a problem or to put a problem into the screen. We are proposing solutions.
Daniel, we are entering the year of the dragon, which symbolizes strength, power, and good fortune. What are your hopes and wishes for your generation in the upcoming Lunar New Year?
Well, first of all, I would like to congratulate to all the Chinese community, the Chinese people, for the Year of the Dragon. I hope all the best for this year, and in particular for the youth. I think this is going to be a good year. I think there are a lot of changes. We are experiencing them, and my best advice to all of them would be to go ahead, to go forward, to not be scared of getting some no's. But we definitely have to believe in our ideas, in our purposes, to do good for the people, for the world. And this is going to change everything.
Ambassador Daniel Del Valle, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure.